Alright, hi, welcome back for part 2. I deleted some shit so I don't get cut off again. Phoebe is fucking me up. Alright, while that video was uploading... Oh, hi, this is the Awakening Masculines part 2, okay? I hope you enjoy the thumbnail. I had the masculine deer, I don't know, elk, whatever it is, side-eyeing. Anyway, okay, where we left off, I was talking about Lucifer. We'll get there. Really quick, alright, I made a list. If you ever feel like you are being called, if you feel like this is for you, if you watched the other one too, and you came back for this one, I love you, thank you, that's very sweet. Okay, not like that, love. Whoa, calm down. I'm just a mentor in the spiritual realm for you. Okay, ruled by fallen ones. Oh, yeah, we'll get there. Okay, so if you feel like you're being called to balance yourself, or if you feel like there's a heavy imbalance, if you feel like you're being called to protect, or if you feel like you are if you are constantly seeking protection from women, there's an imbalance. Okay, if you feel like you're being called to provide or called to heal or called to embody divinity. Now, what I've been thinking about while, again, I had the time while you guys were uploading, I've been doing the embodying of divine feminine energy, and I don't think that with this deck, and I don't think that, I don't think there is a embodying divine masculine. So I'm working on some stuff, and I'm gonna put some curriculum together for us so that we can also find that balance. But I know that you guys are all like, ew, femininity. I highly recommend watching the embodiment of the divine feminine, because remember, we all have divine masculine and divine feminine in us. And if you haven't watched the first one, go watch the first one first and then come back and watch this one. But I feel like most of toxic masculinity is a projection. Hang on, I wrote it down. It's a displacement of anger towards women, which, first of all, isn't fair. And second of all, doesn't make sense. Okay. It is a lot of it stems from like mommy wounds, mother wounds. I have mother wounds too. I had to cut my mother out of my life. I'm not telling you like go postal on the women in your life. Again, if you haven't watched the first one, a lot of women are in toxic masculinity because of the society in which we live, the patriarch, right? We're all out of balance, okay? But we all need to remember that we all embody divinity. And part of that is balancing our masculine and feminine aspects, are light and dark. Masculine is light and expansion. Feminine, because it's not anatomy, it's energy, right? And that's another thing that you have to like decolonize from constantly. That's why I always say the wrong thing and talk about heterosexual and gayness and whatever, because it's all like a part of decolonizing from the patriarch and what the patriarch tells you. You're a man, you need to be strong. You've got dingleberries. You're a woman. Ew. Bitch, the fuck? It makes no sense, right? Men are cool, but like not without a balance. Masculinity. Anyway. Okay. Aspects of self: inner child, shame, sexuality, relationships to other masculines. We talked about that a lot in the first one. Thinking again about how the patriarch as a society, that's not the word, friends. They're giving me cultural expression, but this isn't cultural. It's a society built on obedience and control, to uplift men. For what, right? Again, dingleberries. Okay. Men, masculinity, again, patriarch, abusive women, abusive children, okay? So again, if you're a masculine and you're coming into this consciousness, you yourself were not treated correctly. Otherwise, you would have that balance, right? And all of us were treated like shit, right? We all grew up in the same societal systems. Okay, we were all indoctrinated into them. Again, go watch the first one. All right, I did pull 7 more cards in the meantime, in between time. I'm gonna check and see if there's a divine masculine deck. If there's not, we'll just go ahead and make one. Okay, I'm working on that. I also started talking about fallen angels. I don't want to do that quite yet. I think that's going to be part of the deck in question that we need to create. Oh, that's a good song. Also, I was called to Oasis, Don't Look Back in Anger. So if that feels like something, again, anger came up a lot. Anger is generally a displaced feeling. Again, we are making sure that we're floating on our little pirate ship around our feelings, okay, and letting them flow. All right. But anger is generally displaced hate for self projected onto women. And you know, I'm familiar with the bros before hoes shit. Again, remember, pick me women are not necessarily in a divinity energy / not at all. They're also in a toxic masculinity. So you're literally having pissing contests with women as a as a way to project how you're feeling instead of having that emotional intelligence and awareness of self, right? No, don't do that, right? When women trigger you, cause disharmony and conflict, again, that's when you whip your dick out and you're like, I can piss farther, bitch. And she's like, yeah, well, I can piss all over my leg. I used to be so... Anyway, okay. Story, not the story. It's because part of you... I've gotten a lot better at it. Okay, it's very hard, but... Alright, anyway, part of you, the little one in you, also just made a... just give me a sec. I'm just thinking about... Okay. I'm thinking about squatting and look at her. Okay, so a part of you, the little one inside of you, if that's resonating, go watch the collective reading I did about the triggered little ones within us. Especially through this week when we're all feeling like... What's going on? Our little ones are very triggered, right? So we're projecting on others and like acting out in really stupid ways. We're all doing it, okay? The entire collective is acting a fool. Even if you are a divinity, or you're still acting cry, right? Okay, so fragmented, lost, or rejected, right? Okay. Which leads us to feel guarded. It leads us to feel closed off and resistant to the love that's trying to come in, right? Because our ego and our pride, right? And I pulled Lucifer. I'll go into this a little bit further. Apparently, I didn't know this until yesterday. There are 7 fallen angels, and Lucifer being one of them. And he represents pride, but they all represent one of the 7 deadly sins. So we have pride, greed, gluttony, lust, sloth and laziness, envy, and wrath. So that's the 7 deadly sins. If you haven't seen that movie with is it Denzel Washington? Denzel Washington, Gwyneth Paltrow, and who's the white guy? 7. 7 is the movie. Great fucking movie. But if it's a very low vibrational movie, but it is intelligently stimulating. And it also explores those 7 deadly sins, which we now know are 7 deadly angels, or 7 fallen angels, the Nephilium, which translates to the fallen ones. I believe that's a Hebrew word. Some of the fallen angels, ironically, just fell on the floor. Oh my god, I can't squeeze my head that way. Okay, Leviathan. So we have envy, sloth, laziness, and lust. Yeah, lust is the conversation again. Having pissing contests, using women as a... I like this. I like the saying "stick your dick in shit" a lot. Get that shit under control. All right, go masturbate in your shower. Right, put your little seeds all over the shower walls. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, we are trying to form a solid foundation up in here. All right, we're seeking freedom. All right, we're seeking opportunities. We got to take a leap of faith, and that leap of faith looks like love for ourselves, understanding what we want to create, and the intentions. Right, it's not all about what we can stick our dick into or how far we can piss. All right. Anyway, I appreciate you guys being here. It's not that scary. The main thing is if you're having a lot of lustful thinking, go watch the root chakra. That means that you're feeling unsafe, and it's probably a feeling of feeling unsafe within your own feelings, right? If you feel love for someone and it's like, no, not allowed, business for hoes, right? Or whatever, I don't know. Going beyond normal. Yeah, oh yeah, we're not normal over here. There's no such thing as normalcy. Normalcy is annoying. Complacency and normalcy go hand in hand, right? We don't do normal on this channel. If you're normal, ew, go away. Yeah, what's your big bold vision, right? What is your what intentions do you have for your, not only yourself but the collective? What ways, when you are a balanced divine masculine, do you want to step into your power? What men in history, all right, we're going to go with history, and of course we're all problematic too, because, you know, we've never really had a deconstruction of the patriarch within social movements to the degree that is necessary. But what men do you look up to from history, right? MLK, Malcolm X, which men are you seeing in now, right? Within the ways, I think a lot about, I mentioned this in the first video about indigenous men having that Blink-182's first date. That's not the vibe right now. Maybe. Anyway, what men do you look up to? And it, you know, what aspects, what does masculinity mean to you, right? These are some introspection questions to ask yourself. You know, you don't have to like go public with this shit, like, let me just go to my city hall and make a speech. No, you don't need to do any of that. But ask yourself, if you were a balanced masculine, if you wanted to accept the love that you know you're worthy of, the love that your little one never got because you were forced to become a man before you were ready, right? Because that's what the patriarch instills in little men, right? I let Niall cry. Sometimes I get frustrated, but I do my best not to, right? Because children cry. It has nothing to do with what's between your legs. It has everything to do with being a developing person in a world that is very gross and unbalanced. And I want to cry sometimes, right? And I got yelled at. I used to pass out when I would cry because my parents would like hush me. And that's why if you hear Niall screaming, I do my best to allow that, especially since he is nonverbal. Like, that's his expression, but it is very intense. And it's also part of the cycles that I'm still breaking. Anyway, this isn't about me, but I used to pass out when I would cry because they wouldn't want, and I like this scar right here. Where is it? What side? Right there? That's from camping trip. I fell on a rock because I was crying so much and they were like shushing me. And I passed out because I wasn't breathing properly. I used to do that all the time. I like passed out, fell down the stairs and shit. So anyway, if you're having feelings, okay, so there's a new moon that starts today and it's in Aquarius. Aquarius is humanitarian, is is visionary energy. It's air energy, which also came out. Feel your feelings, right? Air and water are here as the elements that have shown up in this reading. And, you know, remember this, right? Like the pirate ship of your feelings, right? This is your feelings are just an internal navigation system to the ways in which you know you should be treated, the ways in which you know you should treat others. I'm gonna run out of fucking time. I feel like we didn't even do anything here. Big bold vision, going beyond normal, and power of attraction, okay, are the cards that came out. Anyway, this pirate ship can't move without air, right? So remember to breathe. Remember to allow the emotions to flow, right? I did delete a few apps, so I don't know. If I get cut off, I'll do a part 3 if I need to. But otherwise, if I don't feel like I need to, we are going to go ahead and start doing some exploration into some more divine feminine or divine masculine traits. Don't be afraid to watch the divine feminine things, because I know how men think, right? But don't be afraid to watch that, because those aspects are really important for balancing your own femininity. And most of us were raised by masculine presenting or imbalanced pick-me women. Okay, so when you are presented with a woman who is divine, who may be your divine counterpart, because that's the kind of place that as a collective and globally and universally we are, the divine counterparts are coming out together to ensure balance on this planet. Okay, this is not just about sticking your dick in shit. It's about literally changing light codes, shifting DNA, changing cultural perspectives, ending genocide, creating a new earth. Okay, this isn't just like let me get off. Okay, so when you meet a divine feminine or the divine counterpart to you, whatever energy you have, you yourself may be in a feminine energy that is also toxic. Remember, toxic masculines and toxic feminines are still toxic. It doesn't matter. You have to find that balance within yourself. But anyway, you're gonna be put off by that. You're gonna run. We know that. We're going to stay put and stay grounded, and we might have to put boundaries up with you. I really hope my counterpart is watching this. I really hope you're here, because right now I had to put some firm boundaries with my counterpart this week. And yeah, so anyway, all that to say is continue to work on yourself. All right, really check yourself ego wise. I said this in the first video and I'll say it again. I have done a collective combo on ego deaths as well as shadow work. Again, just love on that little one inside of you that didn't get the love that you deserve. And that little one inside of you that feels resentful, right? And also tap into that teenager within you, that teenage angst who like said fuck you to everybody. That is the energy that we are all harnessing right now against these systems. Okay, I'm in that energy. I'm in that energy too. Again, balance does not mean that you can't be who you are. It doesn't mean anything, but it is this conversation. Healing is just a journey through your life so far to this point. And if you want to be a pirate about it, go ahead. So you're going through these different parts to like go grab your little one by the hand, give them a hug, right? So things are going to come up, feelings are going to come up. For men, this is a hard thing to do alone. Journal can help. But yeah, I would say look up to other masculines that you feel inspired by, right? There's a lot of healthy divine masculines alive on this planet right now, also in history, that you can look up to, and do that. Yeah. I was called to give my divine counterpart a book of a divine masculine. Do I know if they're reading it? Probably not, because they're mad at me because I asserted boundaries. But that's the thing. Divine feminines are being guided. We've created this spiritual safe space for you to do this. And even if you're not my counterpart, I've created this space for the collective here in the physical on this channel, guiding you with this map of what is necessary and what this is going to look like and feel like and what not to be afraid of. And don't run away from yourself. This is the practice of integrating, embodying yourself. Check out the daily decolonizing, because those are going to be introspection questions. Those are the things that you can journal or at least think about and be like, why am I such a fucking asshole? Why do I want to stick my dick in everything I see, right? Well, circumcision had a big part of that. My son is not circumcised because that's one of the ways that the patriarch has. So I want you to understand that you are a victim of patriarch, ultimately. When they cut your dick off when you were a tiny human, that was them taking control over you, and you never deserved that. And again, there are humans and men on this planet who are against circumcision, and who have shared their stories about that. So whatever you feel like you need to do, but I want you to understand that circumcision is a big, big way in which the patriarch has enacted violence over you. You weren't even hours old and they cut off the piece of your dick. That's why lust is so important. And I'm really sorry, you didn't deserve that. And there are some of us who knew that that was a problem and we didn't do that. Okay, again, breaking those cycles. When we know better, we do better, right? But you didn't deserve that. And it's left you looking for pieces of yourself in women, and then that brings women down because they're not the reason that happened to you, right? Again, mother wounds are a big thing. Okay, I'm gonna let you go because I'm probably gonna get cut off, but I'm gonna do some collective combo. Stay out of the camera. Stay out of the camera. Okay, have a good one, guys. Love you. Love yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Okay, what are you throwing?